Hello and welcome back to Rams Talk Podcast. Deadline day, the tie is on. If you cannot see, the goal tie is on, and I've got James from the Toffee Blues who is going to talk about our first deadline day signing, Harrison Armstrong, who has joined from Everton on a loan till the end of the season to try and aid the Rams against relegation from the Championship. How are you, James?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Of time of recording, we've got not long of the window left, so really appreciate your time of how late it is on this Monday. So no, really appreciate you coming on and give us some more insight into kind of an unknown entity till about a few hours ago when it was kind of rumoured that he was going to be on his way after signing a new contract at Everton. So just if you can, just give Derby fans kind of a brief overview of who the player is in terms of what Harrison can bring to Derby and how he's been doing at Everton of late.
Yeah, I think, to be fair, he was quite new to a lot of Everton fans. Certainly, he wasn't someone I was massively familiar with till pre-season. He came in there for some pre-season games. He was involved in the squad. And I think, it's always exciting when you see a young player who's heavily involved in the first team. You get some players who drift back and forth in between. Are they there to make up the numbers? Are they there because they've got a genuine chance to give them a bit of experience? But I think when the player's kind of like ingrained in the first team, that's when you think, right, they've got a chance there when they're 18. I think people probably don't, appreciate quite how young that is. Like he's a child, you know what I mean? In terms of men's football, he's, obviously very new on the scene. And I think, players who are in the Championship now, like Vela Sims, Lewis Dobbin, they've obviously been at Everton and they were kind of ones that would float in between the first team, Tom Cannon being another one as well. But yeah, Harrison Armstrong stayed in the first team all season. He's been in a lot of matchday squads. He's obviously came on in the Premier League in a few games. He started a couple of games in the Cups. And his last sort of real contribution to the first team was the tie against Peterborough, which I think kind of got stolen away from him a little bit because of all the Ashley Young, Tyler Young stuff. But Harrison Armstrong played really well. He got player of the match. He got the assist for the first goal, which had us ahead until right at the very end. But yeah, he looks a real talented player. And I think the kind of most positive thing about it is that, one, he's gone straight to the Championship. He's never been out on loan before. And he's going straight to, a team who were obviously kind of in the lower mid-third of the Championship, not a team who were right at the bottom or anything like that. But also the fact that he signed a new deal last summer and he signed a new deal now as well. To sign 2 contracts in 6 months is a huge kind of showing of how much Everton rate him and how much they value him. I think it's another 3-year deal, another year option. Absolutely brilliant for him. And yeah, we obviously all hope he does really well.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, he's a Liverpool lad at heart. He's obviously grown up and was born in the area. He's obviously come through the academy and has really cemented himself in that youth system at Everton. And then obviously he also is looked upon on international stage as well. He's done quite well for the England youth setup. And I mean, for anyone's first loan, you're kind of a bit pessimistic at the receiving club because you kind of sat there going, are they going to be able to adapt to obviously their first outing from their parent club? And how do you reckon he will adapt to new surroundings? Obviously, growing up, being around Everton and obviously around the area, because it's not just obviously the football aspect of it. It's going to be the lifestyle and obviously moving away from probably home for maybe the first time for a long period of time.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. I'd be surprised if he's been away before, but obviously Derby's not a million miles away from Liverpool. I know it's not exactly next door, but it's not. He could be going much further away. But yeah, I mean, I think you hear him after the Peterborough game, and he seems to have a real kind of good head on his shoulders. He seems quite calm, take it all in stride, kind of thing. I think it helps as well the fact that he's not been kind of thrown in the deep end. Everton have had some injuries this season, but in terms of the park, they've up until recently they've had Mangala and Decore. They've been fit all season up until. Tim Mangala's just got injured now. James Garner's come back, so he's back in the team. Tim Irabuman's come back into the team as well. So he really has been a bit of not a luxury player, but he's been kind of 4th or 5th choice all season, which means that, the fact that he's getting minutes again under Sean Dyche, a manager who I think is renowned for only giving the kind of real cream of the crop minutes in terms of young players. So I think that suggests that he'll take it all in his stride. And, at the end of the day, playing football is where you learn most. It's great that he's training with the first team. It's great that he's in match day squad. It's great that he gets cup games. But I think testing yourself, men's football championship is really good. But as I say, I think the main thing I'd say about Harrison Armstrong from what we've seen in limited minutes and limited kind of media outing and stuff, that he does just seem to take it all in his stride, super calm, and that should surely stand him in good stead from now until obviously May time.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, he featured in the Carabao Cup not too long ago, and created the opener for Beto, and he's kind of been well renowned in the academy system for being that creative player. I mean, what would you say his is from what you've seen in the limited time that you have, it being his best role and being his best position for maybe that he might be able to suit Derby County?
I think from what I've seen, he played kind of as like a sort of half winger, sort of on the right hand side in the Peterborough game. He was definitely on the right hand side at the very least, and that's when he played the slide rule pass with Beto, really nice. When he played in the Carabao Cup against Southampton, for example, I think he played in sort of a two-man midfield, sort of breaking away to the right hand side again. I think probably like a floating 8 kind of system. I'm not 100% sure what systems Derby play, to be fair, or where maybe you need strengthening, but I think he seems like he can sort of play as in that kind of half winger sort of space out on the right. He can play centrally. I think he probably play higher up as well. Got good height about him. He's looks a strong lad as well, and say calm, composed on the ball. So I'd say anywhere in kind of 6, 8, 10 position, pushed off to the right hand side as well, I'd say. But that's the best part about this loan as well, because I think you'll have obviously seen it with players at Derby's when they go out on loan. You want to see not only how they're getting on, goals, assists, all that good stuff. You want to see how they're playing as well, what kind of system they're being used in. And that's going to be kind of a learning curve for everyone over the next sort of few weeks, seeing how obviously Paul Warren and Derby use them.
Yeah, I mean, Derby County have been renowned for signing players, and Paul Warren, our manager, has been renowned for signing players who've got a good personality, seem to fit in well into the ethos of the club. From what you know about him and what you've seen maybe on the media outlets and stuff, is he a nice person? Does he get on with his football?
Yeah, definitely. I think it was the Peterborough game. I don't know if you saw the clip, but when he got told by, not sure it was a stage announcer or just someone in the media team, but they kind of tapped him on the shoulder and said, "Oh, you've got player of the match," and he looked like not shocked, but it was just a nice reaction out. You have to try and dig the video out. It was on I think on like the FA Cup's Twitter or something, but it was just nice to sort of see kind of how again taking it all in his stride and just that kind of like Sean Dyche talks about it, this kind of like innocent about it all, and just enjoying his football. He's not there with some mad ego. He's not there thinking he's not a player. You've seen, for example, Carney Chukwuemeka has gone out to Borussia Dortmund from Chelsea on loan today. He's a player who's cost a lot of money. He's on a lot of money. That's going to change some of the player. This is a lad who's been in the first team for 6 months. He's been in people's minds for 6 months, and that's really it. There's not been any pressure. There's not been this thing of where you sat there and you get strikers like Tom Callum, as an example, Ellis Sims, players who score loads of goals and they're known to the fan base for 2, 3, 4 years. There's loads of expectation on them. I say Elijah's just kind of come through the last 6 months, and that's been really good for him, I think. So, I keep saying it, but it just seems super calm, and that's obviously hopefully what Derby fans will see on the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, we hope so. We need it at the moment. But from a parent club and a fan of his parent club, what would you say whilst he's with us, the aspects of the game he needs to work on and maybe needs to improve from what you've seen on obviously the limited minutes he's had?
Yeah, I think it was the case that we've seen against Peterborough, where he played that great ball into Beto to get the opener, just doing more of that. He against Southampton, for example, and having his first start in the League Cup, he was just a bit safe and a little bit kind of get the ball, get out my feet, get it away to somebody else, let someone else take over. Whereas against Peterborough, he certainly showed more of what he is as a player. He came out of shell a little bit, and I think that's kind of what you want to see from him. You want to go and kind of take the bull by the horns and make real good use of what's a great opportunity, because as I say, lots of players Everton have had down the years have gone to League One, League Two. They've had Harry Tyra, who's a goalie. He was out at the National League last season. He's now at Blackpool doing really well in League One. So it's a case that he's gone straight into a real good level. Ultimately, it's only a step or two away from the Premier League in terms of the part of the Championship that he's going to. And I'm sure Derby's got lots of important games coming up. He's going to want to impress. So, I think it's just the case of hopefully he can kind of show that confidence, come out of shell a little bit, and really kind of show more of those kind of match-defining moments, if you like. That'd be brilliant for him.
It will, and I'll leave it with an open-ended question that we kind of ask all of those who we ask about our new signings. What do you reckon he will do in this loan spell? Do you reckon he will succeed at Derby County?
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, obviously Lewis Dobbin was at Derby. Was it 2 seasons ago now? He did quite well in League One. So yeah, it'd be great if he can come back with a senior goal under his belt, some good performances. Obviously, it's always great when, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to be watching any Derby games. If it's on the on television or something and he's playing, I might tune in. But I'm not going to catch the 3 o'clock games or whatever. Of course, but the fact of saying, right, can he get some highlights? Can he get some goals, some assists? Can we get player of the match or something? Something like that would be brilliant for him. But again, he is only 18, so if he goes, it doesn't quite work. We'll see. But I'm confident that he can, I say, come out of shell a little bit and show what he showed in his sort of fleeting Everton career so far.
Yeah, and we will see how he plays out towards the back end of this season. So, really appreciate you coming on, James, at this late hour on deadline day to talk our first deadline day signing, Harrison Armstrong on loan from Everton to the end of the season. James, if anyone on a Everton persuasion is and has catched this episode, where can they find all your top work?
Yeah, we're over on Toffee Blues on Twitter and YouTube, and then you can find me on Twitter as well at @jpens_ for any Everton nonsense.
And if you did enjoy, please do leave a like. We will try and cover all the signings that come in deadline day. Obviously, you have to appreciate it being the late hour that Derby County have left us. So we will try and cover it as best we can and try and get some insight as and when we can also. We also have a midweek show that'll be coming, I believe, tomorrow evening, so Tuesday evening at the time of recording. But yeah, please do leave a like. Please do subscribe, and we will see how Harrison gets on at Derby County. Hopefully aids in this staying up. Appreciate you staying on and coming on, James.
No problem, mate. Nice one.